Welcome to the Restaurant Roadmap podcast, short snapshot with Eric and Danny. Eric, say hello. How are you today?
Hey y'all, how's everybody out there doing?
Hey, so we finished another one of our full length podcasts the other day. The subject was back of house operations. And in that podcast, we had a discussion about line checks, the importance of, and the uses for, and all that stuff. And Chef Eric had verbally explained a line check diagram. But I thought just by way of further explanation, it would be good for us to review that. And we put it up on the screen here. And I'm going to turn this over to Chef Eric and have him explain how it works, and maybe some other uses that we'll get into. And again, critically important. I thought it would be good for us to go through it so you could see an example, and then let Eric give you some explanation. If you would like a copy of this line check and our help in you setting it up for your concept, that would be great. This is an Excel document. It does require a little bit of Excel skill to modify it based on your cook's line. So anyway, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to let Eric explain it, and we're going to go from there. So Chef Eric, take it away.
Oh, thanks, Danny. So what we're looking at here is a lot of my experience rolled up into one. So worked for a lot of different companies in a lot of different kitchens, and for me, the line check is one of the most important items of the day. It has to happen. It's a non-negotiable. And when started working in consultancy, going into restaurants, and we've seen, anything from writing things down on a napkin to whatever, not even doing any in some cases. We needed to create a document that we could utilize across all of our projects and all of our clients. So we created this document for one of our clients in the last couple of years, and I used my experience and really brought it together based off of what their line looks like. So if we look at this, this is the pantry station of a restaurant. Now, the top there, you can see it's set up with 12 six pans on each of the box tops. So then underneath it, you have these drawers that come out, and you can see the pans that fit in the drawers underneath. Now, you can also see on there, you have check marks so you make sure you see that there is the quality, right? So after you look at the product, you see the product, you taste the product, you have a check mark. You mark off that it's good to serve for that next meal period. You can also see the thermometer there. So on those items, we want to make sure that we are temping those items because they're potentially hazardous foods, and we want to make sure they're safe to serve to our guests. And it also ensures that our refrigeration is working correctly.
Yeah.
You
Or
also
Eric, let me just say, if it's a hot food item, making sure it's up to the correct serving temperature as well, right?
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Um, and then you can see the menu description, right? So we have fish dip. So the quality identifier on the fish dip is not dried out, right? So we want to make sure that that's a good looking, moist fish dip that we give to our guests, and they're able to enjoy it as much as the previous guests have. Then on the bottom of that, you see it says number 10 scoop. So that is the ladle or instrument we use to portion control all of those items. So you can see that this line check has quite a bit of information in it, and it's very easy to work through in a very rapid fashion, right? So if you run a restaurant and your bar manager has to do the morning line check, they can come in and they can do the morning line check without a ton of culinary knowledge, correct? So they can do it, they see it, they're able to give the feedback to the team member that's working that station. Hey, this fish dip is dried out. I don't feel like we should serve it to the guest. Please replace it. Right? They can visually verify, hey, that's a number 10 scoop in there. They know which ones they have to go and temp. It just makes it a very easy line check to complete, and it makes it, you know, you're putting it to the in the hands of your lowest common denominator. We want our tools to work for the lowest common denominator of our people. So if like you put a culinary tool in the hands of someone who isn't culinarily inclined, you want to make sure it's foolproof and they can get it done according to the standard.
Cool. Yeah, and a few things to add there. You can also add to this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Eric. You can add plateware, you can add other utensils, you can add whatever you want to make sure that you're thoroughly ready for service before you
Mhm.
open. After a shift, to make sure you're ready to go for the next shift. And then I always like to use a line check for the cooks to check themselves and also go gather tools or ingredients so they're not fetching back and forth. So if they use the line check as a setup tool, then they're not running around the kitchen quite so much. And if you wash the utensils that you're going to use, bring them back on the line. I think Chef Eric had referenced having it either a labeled or a different color container for each station, so you're not running around for 20 minutes trying to find a 2 ounce ladle for your tartar sauce or whatever it is that you need. Um,
Exactly.
the other last important thing to remember is any deficiencies, anything that's wrong, the manager doesn't fix it. The manager teaches the person working the station how to fix it, why it should be fixed, so that they know, so that in the future, they're not going to make the same mistake over and over again. So, again, vitally important. We want to do line checks before the customer does, before your guest sends something back because it's not right. So, vitally important, this is done prior to each shift, ideally after a shift to make sure you're ready to go for the next one. And it's a great tool. It'll really help ensure the quality of your finished product. So I want to thank Chef Eric for his time, his knowledge, expertise. This is a great document. Remember, I said if you shoot us an email, we're happy to send you the document and then also help you work through how to set it up specifically for your particular kitchen or cook's line layout. So hope you all have a great day. Email us at info@therestaurantroadmap.com with questions or feedback or topics that we or you would like us to discuss in the future. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks again, Eric.
Thank y'all. Have a great day.
Okay. Bye bye.